Hello, friends. Your old Uncle Andy here, the UC Panda himself, coming to you on October 9th with what we hope are going to be some winning NFL, NHL, and college football picks. Yes, hockey has returned to our lives. It's a glorious thing. We're going to get into it here in just a minute, but real quick, let's have a recap of what went on last weekend. Didn't get the video up Wednesday like I wanted to, but I wanted to get the video up to you right now. On Thursday, gives you plenty of time to get your NHL bets in to get bets in for Thursday night football, both college and pro. Last weekend was a little rough in NFL anyway. We did well in college. We continue to do well in college. We're still profitable in NFL, but nobody was profitable last week in NFL. I'd really love to own a sports book after that weekend the NFL had. No money line parlays, no teaser parlays, no anything got across the line. It started Thursday night with the Rams losing, and then Sunday was just a real slaughter for recreational bettors and professional bettors as well. I mean, you had Eagles go down, Seahawks, Bills went down, Chiefs went down, all sorts of carnage, carnage in all the survivor contests as well, because of some of the things that went on in the Cardinals game. So really just an all-time weekend. We got through it, and indeed, we weren't really that bad on actual picks. I think we were only two to the bad on picks, but we had a couple of five-unit plays that didn't go our way, and so that's why it was such a loss of profit for us on the whole weekend. So those are the dangers of the 5% plays. I don't have that many 5% plays. And I will say one of my 5% plays was a winner in the Lions game, but it was called back on a penalty. I had Lions to have the first sack of the game. They had the first sack of the game, but it was overturned on a penalty. Bengals come, get a couple sacks, and that was all she wrote. But we'll stick with it. I'm going to look to college football where we continue to have a lot of success. We're 72 and 29 this year, up over 50 units in college football, still up 17 units in NFL. So keep on following us over on Uncle Andy Sports at Twitter and well as Facebook, and we'll keep giving you all the winners. Keep following us over at the Plays Daily Contest on Twitter as well. I'll get maybe a 3, 4, 5 day run on there, and then we'll lose one. But there are a lot of very smart people there. They go on 5, 6, 7 day runs. Nobody has topped my 8 day run yet in the contest. Some guy had me tied last night, and it just didn't come through for him. So he and I are sort of co-captains on the King of the Hill at the moment. So it's going to take him at least another week to get back there, and we hope to get there tonight. Let's see, what was my play of the day contest? It was the under in the ECU Tulane game. We'll get into that more in a minute, but you already know all about that. You had that pick last night if you were tuned into us on Twitter and Facebook. So Thursday night football tonight, we got a no sweat bet. That's why it's a minus 115. If it's a no sweat, I'm okay laying a little bit of juice. If you're betting a parlay naturally and you don't have any boosters, teasers, no sweats, free rolls, any of that stuff, you really do want it to be a plus money bet. But since this is a no sweat, we'll get our money. Well, we won't get our money back. We'll get a free bet if this loses. We went ahead and took Eagles money line and under 44 and a half. Under has certainly been the order of the day in these Giants Eagles matchups over the past few years. I'm not expecting a lot of the Giants offense. So we'll go ahead and figure this thing to stay under the number. Primetime game, primetime unders are a thing. So under all the way. Do have a bit of a nice parlay going, I think, for NFL. Colts minus 2.5, Cowboys, Rams, Patriots just to win the game. Love it at plus 406. This is a prop in NHL. Zach Werenski for the Blue Jackets to have over 2.5 shots. What you'll find in a lot of these props, on props like this is a great example. Werenski to go over 2.5 shots was minus 175. I didn't want to pay that much. I kind of got burned on an NHL prop the other night with Connor Bedard. I got cheated actually. They didn't grade something that was clearly a shot, but them's the breaks. So we went ahead and found that prop with Werenski at minus 175. A couple of dance partners in the Packers just to beat the Bengals, 14-point favorites. Don't even need to lay the 14, just win the game Packers. And Colts as well. Turns a minus 175 prop into a plus 110. So we'll go ahead and go with that. Lay a little lumber on it. Do have a new ladder challenge going. That's on Twitter and Facebook as well. A good $5 ladder challenge, also involving the Jackets and a third period over. And while we're on the subject of NHL, tread lightly. I know there's 14 games tonight. I know we're happy the hockey's back. We're going to be betting hockey between now and the finals won't even start till after Memorial Day next year. Your kids will have graduated to the next grade by the time a day rolls along. You cannot bet on a hockey game. So there's plenty of time. Let's get some data points together. When we get into November, when we get into December, some of these Thursday nights, we've got 13 games. We're just going to unleash everything we've got on the books. But let's get some data points together first. Plenty of time to bet hockey. Juice reducer parlay. I didn't mean for it to be this aggressive, but it is coming in and tilting the scales at only a minus 165, 65% probability of hitting. But I like all these. Packers just to win the game, Notre Dame at home just to win, Texas Tech, James Madison, SMU just to win. Stringing them together, it's a minus 165. I like it. Could have even added things like Georgia Tech to it. I wouldn't even call you greedy if you did that. I think Georgia Tech's going to win. But you got to be careful with these things. Those of you last week who maybe threw Penn State onto this, I know some of you will take my juice reducer money line parlay and you'll throw a couple of other things on there to sort of add a few more beans to the bet. Well, if you did that last week with Penn State, and I was not going to put Penn State on this, I did not like them going to the West Coast off the heels of the game that they had had where they lost and in the fashion in which they lost, no less. So I was not going to put that on my parlay. I didn't think Penn State was going to lose the game to UCLA, but I figured it was going to be more sweaty than I wanted it to be. And here Penn State goes and loses the game. So, if you want to throw something else on here, you do so at your own risk, because by doing so, you're knocking down the implied probability. And we discussed last week, we've now strung together, this will be the 6th week of juice reducer parlays, where every time the implied probability is 70%, or give or take 65%, 68%. They've mostly been coming in at that range. So when you do that and you string together 5 independent events with a probability of only 70% hitting, you're cutting your probability down from 70% to 35 to 17 to 8. So now we're in like the 2 or 3% range of probability, big picture, going back to the last weekend of August. So landmine's coming. I still don't think it's going to be this weekend. I love all these picks. I wouldn't have picked them if I didn't, but just bear that in mind. Missouri State, Liberty, UTEP under. Those both occurred last night. If you watched us on Twitter, on Facebook, you have those plays already in pocket. Your juice reducer parlay is in place. And while we're on the subject of these unders and overs, all my unders and overs, not necessarily my side bets or spread bets, but anytime you see me with an under and over that I've teased in these juice reducers, I'm getting there to this point just to give myself some extra wiggle room. I'm confident that in Liberty UTEP last night, I figured the game was going to go under. I figured it was going to stay under the posted number. I'm just sort of good doing these juice reducers to give myself a little wiggle room. So in the event something crazy happens with a 20-year-old kid playing football and he muffs a punt, there's a fumble, there's a crazy interception, something silly happens, I've got a built-in touchdown in there, sort of like craziness insurance. But I'm confident that, like tonight, Louisiana Tech, Kennesaw, I'm confident they're going to stay under the organic number. And the number naturally in this game is 45 and a half. I've teased it up 9 points here in the juice reducer parlay. Kennesaw, Louisiana Tech to stay under the number by itself. Here in my scenario of under 54 and a half is minus 300. Put them in the juice reducer parlay and it goes to plus 102. So that's why I'm doing it this way. But I'm confident still that Louisiana Tech and Kennesaw State are even going to stay under the number of 46. That's an okay bet too. So if you see any of my total bets, you can bet those organically as they appear at the sports book. So go ahead and do that if you like. But Louisiana Tech, Kennesaw, definitely under all the way. They're a combined 8-2 to the under this year. Louisiana Tech 17-12 to the under since 2023, 8-5 to the under since 2023 as an away team. On that note as well, love Louisiana Tech to win the game. I think you're okay in this instance to go ahead and lay the whole touchdown with Louisiana Tech if that's what you want to do. I think that's fine. In this case, from the purposes of my juice reducer parlay, we've got them on money line, but the Bulldogs are 5-0 this year against the spread, so I think you're okay to lay the touchdown. Take Southern Miss plus 147 money line in the parlay. By itself, it's minus 160. I think you're seeing the value here of playing these juice reducer parlays, and I think it may really well come in handy here in this Alabama game come Saturday. Them by themselves on the money lines minus 150, in the parlay it's plus 153. That's like a 200% turnaround, 200% more return on your investment. So by all means, let's play it the way I've got it posted here. Love, love, love ECU Tulane to stay under the total. I think that one would stay under the total by itself. The total is 55. That's what was posted at the book. I tease it up a little. These two teams are a combined 39 and 24 since the 2023 season to the under. The both ECU is 4-1 to the under this year, and Tulane is 3-2 to the under this year. ECU as an underdog, which they are tonight, they're 12-5 to the under, going back a couple of years. And Tulane at home is 11-5 to the under over the past few years, and 13-6 in conference games to the under. So under all the way. Like Texas A&M to go ahead and win Saturday. Like Northern Illinois and Eastern Michigan to stay under the number. The last three contests between these two have stayed under the number. You could play the number that's posted as is at 47.5. I think that's fine. Wanted to give myself, I've got 10 points of wiggle room in this juice reducer parlay, and I'm still getting a plus money bet. So that's why we're playing it this way. I've got a touchdown and a field goal in pocket because of some kid fumbling and a busted up flea flicker or some sort of nonsense occurs. I've got 2 scores of insurance for my bet, to still win. So that's why we're playing it this way. But Northern Illinois, 16-3 to the under since 2023. The last 3 meetings in this contest between the Huskies and the Eagles have stayed under. So that's why we're betting it under. We do like UNLV money line. Love Western Michigan money line as well. Love Ball State and Western Michigan also to stay under the number. Or I'm sorry, to go over the number. Go over the number. I'm sorry. Getting my Michigans confused here. Since 2023, Ball State is 10-6 to the over on the road. Western Michigan is 9-4 to the over at home. The last 4 contests between these two teams have gone over. Like Temple in the points, like Navy and Temple to go over the number as well. Get a load of this. Navy and Temple this year are a combined 8-2 to the over. And the last 5 contests between these two teams have gone over. So Navy, I know you think Navy, oh, they run the ball. That's true. But for some reason, whatever the reason may be, most of their games are going over. They're putting up points. You saw that really in all their games against UAB, against Navy. They're putting up points. Temple's an offense not to be trifled with as well. They're putting up points. I think it goes over the number based on the data, based on the trends. Florida Atlantic, I do like them to go ahead and win the game. The over in this game is 70.5. I think that's just crackers. I have it like Florida winning the thing like 31-24. But for whatever reason, the books see it differently. These are teams. UAB is an over team simply because it gives up so many points. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Love Iowa money line against lowly Luke Fickell and the Wisconsin Badgers. The only thing preventing Fickell from being fired is the fact he has like a gazillion-dollar buyout. And that's the reason Fickell's even still employed in Madison right now. Take USC money line at home against Michigan. Take BYU, San Diego State. We threw our pro in here. I didn't want to have this to be like a 10-slide presentation. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Broncos in money line. Steelers, Colts, Cowboys. Love the Cowboys. I think you could go ahead and lay the 3.5 against the Panthers if you wanted to. Love the Rams. I don't love the Rams, actually, but I'm just going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams are in a bounce-back spot after that horrific performance they had last Thursday. I do think they go ahead and get right again. I don't know if they necessarily cover. I'm not saying that, but I do think they win the game. Love the Patriots against the Saints. I think you'd be okay in this instance to go ahead and lay the points with the Patriots if you like. Kind of like the Buccaneers, went ahead and went with them. Lions plus 8.5. I think Lions are live to win the game straight up, but certainly them plus 8.5. How hot the Lions have been and how not hot the Chiefs have been. Like the Commanders, now they got everybody back healthy. Go with them money line. And I love Cowboys team total over 20.5 because of their offense. Dak, everybody playing, doing a great job. So yeah, team total over 20.5. That I think is free money. And again, all these bets now at plus money. If you bet all these props that you've seen in the parentheses, that's the number you'd pay to get Patriots just money line. But in the juice reducer parlay, we're at plus 147. So that's pretty good. That's all for me. We hope everybody gets to the window with these bets. I think we're going to get back on track this weekend. I don't foresee quite as crazy a weekend in NFL as we had last weekend. I'm going to go ahead and use the Packers against the Bengals in Survivor. Doing okay in the Survivor pool. So I hope everybody enjoys all the sports this weekend. Take it easy with the betting. We got a long way to go in all these sports. Still have a long way to go in football. We've got football, college going bowl season, Christmas time. NFL is going almost all the way till Valentine's Day. We've got a long way to go there. Preserve your bankroll because guess what? In like 4 weeks, college basketball starts. That's something else that we'll have to consider. So, manage your bankroll properly. Let's watch what we're doing. Let's string some data points together. And if you tail us to the window, we will cash tickets together. Have a good night, everybody.